Okay, here's leadership tip number 10, taking notes part 2. I want to share more benefits for taking notes. It's very helpful and it sounds simple, yet most people don't do this. When you meet someone or have an important conversation, does it ever cross your mind to write down what happened in that conversation? Probably not. So, if you want to stand out as a great leader, someone who connects with their employees or teammates, then take notes. For all of you who work with youth, I highly suggest you write down even the important or non important stories that teens love to tell you. Now, you might say, well, they don't love to tell me anything. All they usually say is, you'll say, "How was your day?" And they say, "Oh, fine." You say, "Well, what did you do today?" And they say, "Oh, nothing." If you're getting this from your youth, then let me help you with a little suggestion. Okay, so adults are always trying to get their youth to talk about their deepest problems, but they don't listen when youth are talking about just regular teenage stuff. You have to prove to them that you care about the non essential things. Then they'll be more likely to open up about the deeper personal things. Now, granted, this doesn't work for everybody, but this has really worked for me as far as when I'm working with youth. And over the past, I've intentionally used this for a while now, but I've seen it happen even more and more in the past 3 to 5 years. So sometimes youth tell me stories about something that happened at school involving 10 different people. I don't know these people. I don't know what they look like, so I can't really put a picture or to a face or whatever. So I try to ask questions to clarify and know who are they talking about when they're telling me a story. Later, when I'm not in their presence, I typically write down the sequence of events that they just told me. When I see them a few days later or a week later, and then I ask, "Oh, how's your day? What did you do today?" They will say, "Well, do you remember when I told you about so and so or this situation?" When they say this, it's a test. Okay? Remember that. They want to see if I care enough to listen and remember. So I say, "Oh, you mean blank who did the what with the who and them and whatever, whatever?" Then they say, "Yeah." So then they proceed to tell me more about their day and what happened. Remembering facts and information about someone makes them feel recognized and appreciated. If you forget something and then you admit it and ask them because you want to get the facts straight, then this helps them as far as building rapport. The way you build trust and communication is through listening and showing like sincere interest in someone else, even if you think it's boring. So, adults, listen. What you think is old and boring is brand new to them. I want you to think about that. I want you to remember how that felt. Because when they're telling you something, they're experiencing it for the first time and they're learning to navigate it. And if we simply brush over, like, come on, I already know this, and you're trying to skip ahead, they're not getting the quality time to learn how to look at a situation and to learn what's a proper way for them to handle it. Okay? So if they feel like you're just brushing it off, then that's why they're not going to share anything about their day. Okay? So let me just share one more story, or at least one more scenario. Years ago, I was giving spiritual advice to two young ladies with actually similar stories and almost identical names, but they lived in two different cities. So when I got the information wrong with one of the young ladies that she was talking about her problems and things that she was going through, she felt like I didn't care. I had spent already weeks talking and texting and on the phone, but because I had gotten some of her information wrong, She felt that I did not care. Adults, you and I both know that we really do put a lot of time and care into what we do as far as activities, lessons, or just being there for the young people. And when they feel like we don't care, it's based upon the things and how they see life. So please do not take this personal. But if you want to help build rapport with them and if you want to help them to open up, then I highly suggest you take notes about the things they're saying. Now, number one, don't take notes in front of them. That makes people feel uncomfortable, especially if they have seen a psychiatrist or a counselor before and you got somebody with a notepad just sitting there writing down all of your problems and your foibles and your issues. That makes people feel uncomfortable. So it's better to wait until you're not in their presence to take notes. During future trainings, I will go more into detail about what I put into notes, how I formulate the notes, how I keep progress or track of different things that might be important to the young person, not just to me, but to them as well. I can go more into details, but for now, I just want to say, please take this advice. You can start following that advice now, or you can wait until later on and you might be embarrassed. So the choice is obviously up to you. So in order for videos to be seen by more and more people, you need more likes, you need more subscriptions. But what I'm asking you to send this to just one person or a few that you know it will really help. Someone that you know it will help build and improve their leadership skills. When you send it to that one person, I want them to also know that you care about their leadership development.